Chapter 5, Mishnah 2. The previous Mishnah explained how to separate at one time all the portions that must be given to a Kohen from bread of Demai. The Mishnah teaches how a similar procedure can be used to separate the tithes from definite tevel. As in the previous Mishnah, this is done in several steps. In the first step, the owner marks off the amount he will later need to give away without actually designating any of it yet as a tithe. We now turn to the words of the Mishnah. Someone who wants to separate Trumas and Trumas Maisa at one time from definite tevel does the following. He takes it, i.e. marks off in the pile 1 part from 33 1/3, i.e. 3/100ths of the pile, and says, 1/100th of what is here, i.e. 1/100th of the pile, is hereby set aside as chulin, unsanctified, for the moment, on this side of the area that has been marked off. And the rest of what is in the marked area is hereby designated as terumah for the entire pile. At this point, 2/3 of the marked area, 2/100ths of the pile, has become truma, and 1/3 of the marked area, 1/100th of the pile, is not truma, but simply tevel. Having taken care of the truma obligation for the pile, he now proceeds to deal with the Meiser Rishon and Trumas Meiser obligation. He says, and the 100th chulin that is here, i.e. the 1/3 of the marked area, 1/100th of the pile, that I originally said should remain unsanctified, is hereby designated on this side of the marked area as Meiser Rishon. And the rest of the Meiser Rishon, another 9/100ths of the pile, is designated next to it in the unmarked area. He then continues, this section of the marked area that I have just made part of the Meiser Rishon is hereby made into Trumas Maisa for the rest of the Meiser Rishon. Thus, the 3/100ths of the pile that was marked off, 2/3 are now Truma, and 1/3 is Truma Maisa. The Meiser Rishon is next to the Trumas Maisa in the unmarked part of the pile. The marked part is separated and given to a Kohen, since it contains entirely of Truma and Trumas Maisa, while the Meiser Rishon is given to a Levi. The person now concludes his tithing with Meiser Sheni. And the Meiser Sheni, 1/10 of the remainder of the pile, is designated in the pile's northern or southern side, and is hereby redeemed onto the coins that I have set aside for this purpose. The coins are then brought to Jerusalem and spent on food there.